Hi. So, I hope you all are well in this pandemic situation, and today we are going to discuss about a topic, very interesting topic called energy. So guys, what is energy? What is energy? Like I am talking right now, I am talking to you all, so I am utilizing my energy produced by my body. I have eaten something, then my body has digested that thing, and then from that food substance the energy has been derived, and that energy I am utilizing in moving, walking, writing, talking to you. So this is what is energy. Like you are sitting in your room, your fan is on, so your fan is running on electrical energy. Like you're walking, you're moving, so you're using muscular energy, the energy in your muscles, you're utilizing that. Then you're able to see the things around you, outside the window, everywhere in the room where there is light. So light is what, again, a form of energy. So energy is available everywhere in many different forms, many different types. But if we come to know that what is energy, then how we can define it, what will be the definition of energy. So anywhere you can apply this definition, which says that energy is the capacity to do work. Energy is the capacity to do work or ability to do work. You may write down, energy is the capacity or ability to do what work. By this statement only, when we are listening it carefully, we get to know that energy is very closely related to what work. Energy is very closely related to what work. So you will have to understand first that what is work. What is work? So work, the definition of work says that if you are applying force, or anything is applying force on an object and the object gets displaced, there is displacement in the object, whether it is in the direction of force or it is in the opposite direction of force, that is secondary thing, you will discuss it later on. But when you are applying force, there is some displacement in the object. At that time you will say that work is being done. So work is dependent on what? Work is dependent on two things. One is called force and the other one is displacement. So you get to know the formula to calculate work. You can calculate work, that how much of work is being done, by the formula force multiplied by displacement, because work is dependent on two things, force and displacement. Now force we all know very well, you have read in previous classes. Any kind of push or pull applied on an object is called as force. And displacement we have discussed in the chapter motion, the shortest distance between initial position and final position, that is the position has changed, it means displacement has taken place. So work depends on these two variables. Now as the work is dependent on two of the things, if any of the things become zero, the work done will be zero. Like for example, if in any case force becomes zero, that is no force is being applied. So when no force is being applied, whether this chalk will move, if no force is being applied, whether this chalk will move? No, there will be no displacement of the chalk. So in this case no work is being done. But when we are applying the force the chalk got displaced. So at that time we will say that work has been done. So work has a different meaning in physics. There is one meaning of work in your English. English says that work is whatever you are doing is work, whether it is physical or mental. But according to physics, work is only said to be done when force is being applied and displacement is taking place. Displacement is also happening over there. At that time the work is only said to be done. Otherwise it will be considered as no work is done. Second case, force is there but displacement is zero. You are applying the force but displacement is zero. How can this happen? For example, I am trying to push this wall. I am trying to push this wall very hard. So I am applying the force, but whether the wall gets displaced. Is the wall getting displaced? No, wall is at its original position. So the displacement is zero. So work done will be what? Force multiplied by zero. For example, I applied 1000 Newton of force. 1000 Newton of force and the displacement was zero. So what will be the work done? What will be the work done? Zero. Right? So displacement matters. Displacement will decide that whether the work is being done or not. Now in English, we are pushing. The whole day you were pushing the wall. Right? You are getting tired. So you will say, sir, I have done a lot of work today in English. But in physics, that is not so. In physics, the work done was zero by you. Because the displacement was what? Zero. Now, as we have come to the topic of work, we were discussing energy, but energy is related with work, so we started discussing about work. So work can be calculated. Work can be calculated as we are having the formula in front of us. Force multiplied by displacement. So there must be some unit of work. There must be some unit of work. So please note down. Force. Force is having a SI unit of what? Newton. Force is having SI unit of what? Newton. And displacement's SI unit is meter. Displacement's SI unit is meter. You all know SI unit? You all know SI unit? Standard unit. Accepted internationally throughout the world. So for force, Newton is the standard unit. For displacement, meter is the standard unit. On multiplication of both, you will get what? Newton meter, or it is given another name called joule. Called joule. Now it is in the name of scientist. That's why it will be written in the capital letter, capital J. The full form is Joule, joule. So joule is the SI unit of work. Joule is the SI unit of work. And as the energy is related to work, the SI unit of energy is also what? Joule. The SI unit of energy is also what? Joule. So work and energy both are having the same SI unit, that is called joule. That is called joule. Now here a question can be framed like, you can be asked, define 1 joule of work. Define 1 joule. So what you will say, what you will express over there, you can say that when 1 Newton of force is applied, you may write down, when 1 Newton of force is applied and it causes a displacement of 1 meter, and it causes a displacement of 1 meter in the direction of force, at that time the work done is said to be of 1 joule. At that time the work done is said to be of 1 joule. So when 1 Newton of force is applied and 1 meter of displacement takes place, it means that 1 joule of work has been done. 1 joule of work has been done. And the energy required to do 1 joule of work, and the energy required to do 1 joule of work will be called as 1 joule of energy. 1 joule of energy. Now in this chapter, the chapter is based on energy, but energy is very closely related to work. Energy is very closely related to work. So you must understand the concept of work very clearly. Then only you will be able to understand what is energy. So work, till now we have discussed that it is force into displacement. Now you all know that displacement is a vector quantity. Displacement is a vector quantity. So a displacement can be positive as well as it can be negative, right? A displacement can have positive values as well as it can have negative values. So when displacement will be having positive values, the work will said to be positive, and when the displacement will have negative values, the work done will be said to have negative. Work done is negative. So work is force into displacement. Now there are 3 cases. Case first, when the displacement is what? Positive. Now force is also a vector quantity, but in this relation we are assuming that force is having a certain direction and displacement will be checked according to the direction of force. Both are vector quantities, but we will have to choose among the 2 vector quantities, and if you are choosing the force, then you have to see that whether the displacement is in the direction of force or against the direction of force or what it is. So when the day is positive, that is displacement is in the direction of force. For example, suppose you are having a block of wood, and you applied a force on it, a force of say 10 Newton, and on applying the force, the block moved a certain distance. So it was initially at X, then later on it reaches a position called Y, and the displacement between X and Y was, for example, 1 meters. The block got displaced by 1 meter. So in this case, work done will be what? Force multiplied by displacement. Force is of how much? 10 Newton, and displacement is of what? 1 meter. So 10 into 1, 10 Newton meter, or you can say 10 joule. So 10 joule, positive 10 joule has come. Why? Because the displacement is in the direction of what? Force. The force is applied in this direction, the displacement is also in this direction, so both the direction is same, so work done is positive. So when displacement is positive, work done is positive. Work done is positive. Now let us see another case. For example, you all must have seen coolie in your life. You all must have seen coolie in your life. They are found where? At the railway platforms. So you are having a bag, a suitcase, and you ask the coolie to take the bag along with you up to the railway carriage, from where you are going to unload it and load it into your carriage. So coolie lifts the load and takes it from position X to the position Y. Now displacement has taken place. But what is the direction of force applied by the coolie? The suitcase would be trying to move down. Because of gravity, and that will be acting as weight of the load. So weight of the load must be trying to pull the load downward towards the earth, and coolie is doing what? Applying a force upwards. So in this case, the displacement's direction is this, and the direction of force is this. So both are what? Mutually perpendicular to each other. So in this case, you are not going to get the work by only the formula force into displacement. Here, in order to calculate the work, you will have to see that whether any component of force is acting in the direction of displacement, or any component of displacement is acting in the direction of force. So force is completely vertical in the y-axis and displacement is completely horizontal in the x-axis. So no force, if you say that we divide the force into two parts, that is force in the x-axis and force in the y-axis. So force in the x-axis is 0, that is in the direction of displacement, the force is what? 0. All the force is being applied in the y-axis, for example 10 Newton, vertical. So in this case, the work done will be 0, because force into displacement, force in the direction of displacement, that is Fx into displacement. Although displacement is being done, but force is 0, so the work done will be called as 0. So you will say that the work done by a coolie is 0 while he is lifting his load and moving horizontally. So if you are lifting a load and moving horizontally, although in English you can say that you have done the work, but according to physics the work done is 0. Be careful, I am not saying that you are lifting the load or you are unloading the load during that time. I am saying only during that time in which you are moving the load horizontally. So while you are moving the load horizontally, your force is acting upwards and displacement is in other direction. So direction matters. direction matters. So you might be curious to know that how we will calculate force in such situations where the direction of displacement is in some other direction with the force. So in such cases we use another formula to calculate force, and that is F into D cos theta. F into D cos theta. Now you may not find it in your book because this thing is told when we are talking in detail about work, but the topic is energy, and energy is closely related to work. That is why I am discussing it with you all. So F into D cos theta, where theta, you might be amazed about two things, cos and theta. Theta represents angle. Theta represents angle. Suppose your force is acting in this direction and your displacement is in this direction, or you can say displacement is in this direction and force was in this direction. So the angle between the two is theta, angle. So in the case of pulley, the angle was 90 degree. The angle was 90 degree. So here force will be calculated, work will be calculated by force multiplied by displacement multiplied by cos 90 degree. And this cos is a function in mathematics. You will learn in mathematics later on about the chapter trigonometry. So in trigonometry there is a function called cos, and cos of 90 degree, the value is 0. So F into D into 0 will make everything 0. That is why we are calling the work done by the coolie is 0. Now if you have any confusion, we will discuss it later on in some other classes, because we are not going into much detail because the topic is energy. So we will discuss it later on. Now in the book it is written that work can either be positive or negative. So I have explained in detail all these things in order to make you clear that what this statement means. Work can either be positive or negative. How it can be so? So work will be said to be positive when your force and displacement both are acting in the same direction. Both are acting in the same direction. Because when both will be in the same direction, at that time work's formula is F into D cos theta, and during that time the angle between force and displacement will be 0 degree, because both are acting in the same direction. So this direction and this direction, the angle made between the two is what? 0 degree. So the cos 0 degrees value is 1. So your formula becomes force into displacement, and force will be positive, displacement will be positive, so your answer will be positive. So your work done will come out to be positive in this case. So we all understood that when will be work positive? Like you are pushing a table and table is moving in the direction of force, the work done will be positive. The work done will be positive. Let's take another example. You are walking. You are walking. So while you are walking, this is the Mother Earth. While you are walking, you are well aware that whether you are wearing slippers or shoes, then at that time what you do while walking, you apply a force in this direction, right? And the Mother Earth gives you a reaction force. To every action there is equal and opposite reaction, and you start moving ahead. So this is the direction of displacement. So you are applying the force backwards and you are moving forward, right? And this force which you are applying backward, you will find it in the form of friction force. Because when your shoes or slipper will come into contact of the surface of earth, automatically a force will start acting between the two, and that will be the friction force. So this force which is acting backward is the friction force. So if suppose anyone asks that what is the work done by the friction force? In this case, what is the work done by the friction force? So let the friction will be of magnitude 10 Newton, and you got displaced 1 meter. So 10 Newton, you will use the formula F into D into cos theta. Why cos theta? Because again, the direction of force is this, the direction of displacement is this. So the angle between the force and displacement is how much? 180 degree. Just opposite, 180 degree. So work done will be, force is 10 Newton, displacement is 1 meter, and cos of how much? 180 degree. Now don't worry, cos of 180 degree, you must know some of the values of cos. Like cos 0 degree is 1, you can write down. It will help you throughout the life. Cos 0 degrees value is 1, cos 90 degrees value is 0, and cos 180 degrees value is minus 1. Cos 180 degrees value is minus 1. So 10 multiplied by 1 into minus 1. So what you got? Minus of 10 joules. So now you can see the work done is coming out to be negative. So work done can be negative, work done can be positive. This I have proven in front of you. So we discussed that work can either be positive, work can either be negative. I hope that it is clear till now. If any doubt, you can ask me again, I will again explain it to you. Before that, we discussed the case of Coulomb, and we found that work done by Coulomb was 0. So why that was 0? You know that work formula is F, force into displacement, into cos theta. Now during the case of Coulomb, or for example you yourself are moving, you have taken a load on your head and moving horizontally. So what is happening? You are applying the force upwards. You are lifting this load, and you are moving horizontally. So you are applying the force with your hands upwards, and the displacement is acting in the horizontal direction. So the angle between the two is itself visible, clearly visible, that is 90 degree. So force into displacement into cos 90 degree, and I have told you cos 90 degrees value is 0. So force into displacement into 0, that is why the work done by Coulomb or when you are lifting a load and moving horizontally, at that time work done is called to be 0. Now you can easily understand why is it written in the book that suppose you lift a book off the floor. So when you are lifting the book off the floor, your direction of force is what? Upwards. Displacement is what? Upwards. So both are having the same direction, so work done will be positive. That is why it is written in the book. Then when you are lifting a book downwards, in this case also your application of force is upwards. By your hands you have applied a force in what direction? Upwards. Because the weight of the book is going downward and you are trying to lift that weight. You are handling that weight. So you are giving a force upward. But the direction of displacement is downward. So direction of force was upward, direction of displacement was downward, so work done will come out to be negative because the angle between them will be 180 degree. And you all have seen in the case of 180 degree, the work done was negative. And in the case of 0 degree, the work done was positive. So now you understand very well that why work is somewhere negative, somewhere positive, and in some cases 0. So hey, it's written energy over there, but we were till now talking about work and work. So it was necessary to talk about work because without understanding work, we cannot understand about energy, right? Now, you are very well aware of the concept of work. So I would like to tell you one theorem, work energy theorem. Work energy theorem. You will get to know many new things in science. Science is all about learning new things, curiosity. Keep the curiosity within yourself. Try to ask questions for everything. You will get to know new things. So work energy theorem is what? By the various scientific research work, it has been found that whatever work is being done on any object, it gets converted into energy. It gets converted into energy. For example, if you take an example of hydroelectric dam, you all must have somewhere seen, or if you haven't seen, you can search for working of dam on YouTube. You will get a video, very good video about it. So how does a dam works? In the case of dam, a wall is built up and water is stored. The water of river is stored at one side of the wall, and then the water is allowed to fall from a height. The gates are made on that dam and water is allowed to fall from that height, and water falls on a turbine. There is a turbine. So when the water falls on the turbine starts rotating, and by the rotation of the turbine, it's a kind of motor. It's kind of connected to generator. So when it starts rotating, it starts generating electricity, which you will learn into detail in later on in higher classes. Because if I will tell all the things right now, it will be a lot of things for you to grasp. So let's take small steps. So that generator starts producing electricity. So work done on that object converted into energy. Work done on that object converted into energy. In the same way, reverse thing also happens. If some energy is being utilized, then some work might be going on. If some energy is utilized, then it is converted into some kind of work. Like the fan is moving in your room. You switched on the fan and the fan started moving. So it is utilizing electrical energy. The electrical energy coming from the supply is going to your fan, and fan started rotating. It comes under rotational motion. So the energy has been converted into work, mechanical work. The movement, the motion, this kind of work is called mechanical work, which we are going to discuss later on in the forms of energy. So some energy utilized and work has been done. So according to work energy theorem, you may write down the work done on a system, gets converted into energy and in the same way energy used by a system is converted into some kind of work. So this was a basic work energy theorem which relates the two quantities. Work is related with energy is related with work. Heading forms of energy. Forms of energy. We are able to see energy around us in various forms. I am talking right now, the type of energy being produced is sound energy. I am able to see things around me, that is due to light energy. The fan is working over here in the room using the electrical energy. Then we are able to see my body is liberating heat energy in this room, right? We are getting heat energy from the sun. So energy is available around us in various forms, in various ways, different types. So we are going to discuss about that. The first one is mechanical energy. Mechanical energy. So guys, what is mechanical energy? See, the energy associated with a body due to two things. One is energy possessed by a body due to motion. The energy possessed by a body due to its motion, that is one type of energy, and that energy is called as kinetic energy. When an object is moving, suppose you kicked a football, the football started moving. So the energy it possesses in itself is called kinetic energy. Like you are playing carom board, you hit the striker started moving. The striker is having what? Kinetic energy. You fired a bullet from the gun. The bullet is moving with a certain velocity, and bullet is having what? Kinetic energy. So whenever any object is in motion, moving with certain velocity, it possesses an energy inside itself. That energy is called kinetic energy. And by using that kinetic energy, it can produce effects on other object. Suppose that bullet hits the window pane, the glass of the window, the glass of the window will break. Your striker hits the other coins of the carom, they also started moving. You kicked a football, the football hit another ball, the another ball also started moving. So whenever such bodies having kinetic energy within themselves, they hit any other object, they produce an effect on them. They transfer their energy, some of their energies. So this is called kinetic energy. And kinetic energy is dependent on two things: the mass of the object, and second, the velocity of the object. The mass of the object and the velocity of the object. And it is directly related to both of them. The larger the mass of the object, the greater will be the kinetic energy produced. Secondly, the more the velocity in the object, the more will be kinetic energy it will be having. On both the quantities it is directly related. So K is directly proportional to mass and K is directly proportional to V. M for velocity, M for mass and V for velocity. And in order to calculate the kinetic energy, we use the formula half m into v square. Half m into v square, where m is the mass of the object which is being hit, which is moving, which is in motion, and v is the velocity of that object which is in motion. Suppose you hit the football. For example, the football was 1 kg and it is started moving with a velocity of say 6 meter per second square. So v square means 6 into 6, 2 times meter per second square. So you will cancel out one of the 6 by 2. So the energy will be 6 3s are 18 joule. 18 joule. The energy in that football will be 18 joule, kinetic energy. Then the second type of energy which comes under mechanical energy is called energy possessed by a body due to its position. Energy possessed by a body due to its position, and that is called as potential energy. Yes, potential energy. So when a body is kept at a height from the ground, it automatically has a stored energy inside it. Like you must have seen water tanks. At your home also you must be having a water tank. So that water tank is situated where? Ground floor or on the terrace? Obviously on the terrace. The reason is that terrace is having a good height, at a good height from the ground. So when water reaches up to that height through the motor, when you switch on the submersible pump or pump, it pumps the water and lifts the water to the water tank which is located on the terrace. So water is raised to a certain height. Now when the water is raised from the ground to certain height, that stored water in the tank has an energy inside it. It possesses an energy inside it, and that energy is called as potential energy. That energy is called as potential energy. To be specific, gravitational potential energy. And that potential energy can be calculated by the formula mgh, where m is the mass of the object, g is the acceleration due to gravity, which you have already come to know about in chapter motion, and h is the height of the object. So potential energy is dependent upon three things: that how much mass is being lifted, what is the acceleration due to gravity at that point, and at what height it is being lifted. The more the height is, the more will be the potential energy. That is the reason when a water tank is at a good height, the water comes with a lot of force, because that potential energy is converted into kinetic energy. When you open the tap, the water starts falling from the tank to your tap, through your tap. So when the water comes under motion, that potential energy is being converted of the water into kinetic energy, because when a body is in motion, energy possessed is kinetic energy. So here you can see the conversion of energy also. Energies get converted. So potential energy is getting converted into kinetic energy. Right? And when both of them combine together, kinetic energy plus potential energy, they are called as mechanical energy. So mechanical energy is what? Mechanical energy is sum of potential energy. Generally in physics the potential energy symbol is U. So U plus kinetic energy symbol is K. So U plus K is what? Mechanical energy. That is what written in your book. Mechanical energy is sum of potential plus kinetic energy.